Worldly Interactions Related to Money, Part 4.
Krishna Ben Baruch. My husband had given his colleague 60,000. These women are so worried about what their husbands have done. It's okay. Let's read ahead.
Yes, read it.
I'll have to read what's written, right? He is not returning it, and nothing can be done for that either. It seems that my husband gave the funds due to the temptation of getting interest income, so it's not that other person's fault. It seems that it is my husband's fault. How can I do pratikraman for this? My husband is not suffering. Has your husband told you to ask on his behalf?
But it feels like this is the energy and brilliance of Gnan. Otherwise, when it comes to money, I kill myself over it. So this is an experience for me.
That's fine. It's a good thing. But did he tell you to ask this question and understand how to do pratikraman?
No, but when it comes to money, it affects me first. But it hasn't happened to me in this situation.
That's very good. It's a nice experience. But in this case, pray to the pure soul within that person and casually talk to him. But whose responsibility is it to collect the funds, your husband's or yours?
Well, if I meet that person, I get the feeling that he took the money. Otherwise...
You have nothing to do with it.
Yes.
Your husband gave it, right? Then let him make the collection. We should not interfere in that.
There is no interference as such.
You can casually say, please give it to me. Whenever you get the money, please return it to me. You can keep this pending statement for them. Don't say, it's okay if you don't return it, even by mistake. Otherwise, the law of nature is such that, let's take an example. If we have given 100,000 and the other person is not returning it to us, then nature is considering him to be at fault. He will have to return that to us with interest at a rate of 1% per year. If not in this life, then in the next life, or the life after that. Nonetheless, he will have to return it.
So I feel that this account...
So nature has laws. Therefore, that person would be deemed to be at great fault. After 100 years, in the next life, we would have to come back to collect the money. He would have to give it. But we want to go to liberation, and our desire is that he should not be deemed as being at fault. We should have the intent, please return this if possible, and try not to be late with it. I am dealing with many difficulties. Only I know my current situation. Just go there and say a couple of things like this. Act like you're crying and then return. Don't let it shake you internally. That's correct.
Deepakbhai, can I ask something else?
No, not right now.
In the interaction between brother and sister, when money
there
comes in...
There are so many questions.
Please, let me ask.
Fine, go ahead and ask.
In interactions between brother and sister, should we accept money or not? If it comes naturally?
Brother and sister meaning you are probably receiving money from your brother, right?
Meaning the things that are part of tradition.
Yes, then accept it. He is happily giving it, right?
Who knows if he's giving it happily? He may be feeling regret afterwards. Happily? I don't know. I feel that he may be regretting it afterwards.
In certain castes, there are traditions where they give to sisters and daughters. Then we should accept it. But we should not spend it on gold chains and earrings. It should be used for satsang.
It's not like that. Due to Dada's grace, I don't do that.
Then that's good. Usha Ben Shastri. In Dada's book on money, he says, give money and purchase the ego such that the energies of the other person manifest in us. So in what sense is Dada Shri saying to purchase the ego? If any person asks for something, can we not say that his ego has come down?
Correct.
The ego has come down so much. Now, at the subtle level, when you give 10,000 to someone, you had money due to your merit karma and you gave it to him. When he received it, it was the fruit of his merit karma. Now, in the worldly interactions, you have set the rule that he must return the money to you, so you have kept the case pending. So, if he doesn't repay you, then your subtle merit karma remains safe with you. He experiences a loss while you maintain a profit. When he requested the money and we gave it, at the subtle level, he mortgaged his ego and we purchased it. Our spiritual energies manifest. Dada says, We became a Gnani by purchasing the ego of others. How was he able to attain so much spiritual energy? This is considered a siddhi or spiritual power. Therefore, at the subtle level, one is earning a profit. There can be another type of karmic account. If you had an account from the past life of giving 10,000 and you gave it in this life, then that past life account is finished. Then if the money is not returned, you can understand that the pending account from the past life has finished. So you can maintain inner satisfaction in this way. Secondly, you are maintaining a balance of merit karma at the subtle level. For example, you can cut away the excess nail, but can anyone cut the portion that hasn't grown out yet?
No.
That means that the portion that hasn't grown yet is still safe with us. This is another way to maintain inner satisfaction. Thirdly, you have sold your ego at the subtle level by giving the money. The account is cleared at that very moment. If the money doesn't come back, then the spiritual energies will remain with you. In this way, your goal should be to gradually achieve inner satisfaction such that you don't have attachment or abhorrence for any situation. Do you understand?
Correct.
Dipti. If someone passes away after incurring a debt, then will they get the result of that? The one that passed away did do the devotional viewing of Dada Shri in 1982, but he had not taken Jnana. It is such that if someone passes away after having incurred a debt, then he should have the intent.
He did have the intent.
Then most of the responsibilities have come to an end.
Yes, it was that way.
And since he has done the devotional viewing of Dada, he will definitely progress on the path of liberation. There is no doubt about that.
Jai Sachidanand.
Jai Sachidanand. Chaya Patel Naroda. Liberation cannot be attained through the illusory attachment for money. How should one's money dealings be in order to attain liberation? In short, do you get enough water each day for your needs?
Yes.
Do you keep thinking every day, will I get water or not? When I reach home, will there be water? Some people do have such problems, but you do generally get what you need, don't you?
Yes.
When you came to this satsang, did you worry if you would get air to breathe? Just as you are not worried about getting air to breathe, you should not worry about getting money either. That is how prepared you should be. Just worry about the self. How will I attain liberation in this lifetime? Because you have brought everything else with you as part of your karmic account. People suffer a loss even though they don't desire it. So won't money also come without you having a desire for it?
If my husband has given me spending money and if we purchase inexpensive items with it and save the remaining amount, then is that called greed?
That's actually considered something else. What will you do with the savings afterwards? Will you spend it on your child or on your husband?
Sometimes if he gives me less, then I can use that saved amount.
That's called D. These women figured it out. Deceit. You're doing it without him knowing, right? You're not telling him, are you? I purchased this for less. Out of the 3,000 you gave me, I saved 300. Are you telling him that?
No.
What is it called when you don't tell him? It is the birthright of all women. You shouldn't believe that. Otherwise, you will continue to take birth as a woman, and it won't let you attain liberation. That's called a tuber.
What do I need to do for it?
You can tell him, I spent 2,700 and 300 is left. What should I do? Should I keep it or give it back to you? If he says, just keep it, then keep it. Tell him that you'll use it for household expenses.
Actually, I do spend it on that.
Inform him and do it. What's the problem with that? Are you scared to tell him?
No.
What do you mean no? You are scared. In case I want to purchase a dress worth 700 and he only gives me 500, then I'll add 200 and get it. That happens in secret, doesn't it? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes. That's the problem. Become pure. You will get the fruits of your merit karma. Otherwise, pass the days with less. But reveal your deceit. Don't be afraid that if I reveal it, then you can say, I don't want this trouble. Give me what you feel is appropriate. If you like, you can also tell him, there is 300 left. I am saving it. I'll use it where needed. He'll say, fine. Men are very open-minded. It says, It says, please don't say my name or ask me to stand up. He hasn't written his name, so how can I ask him? If a relative asks for money and we give it, and then we ask for it back, but they say that they feel hurt, then what should we do? This has already been addressed. It is not worth giving money. If you do give it, then give it with the readiness that it may not come back. Understand that you have put that money in a bag and thrown it in the ocean. If it doesn't come back, then you already knew that it wouldn't come back. And if you want it back, but it isn't returned, then you will have to be prepared for that. I had employees in my business. They would ask, please give me 5,000. My sister is getting married. Please give me 10,000. I told them, you will get a maximum of 2 paychecks worth of money. Let me know what your needs are. If your salary is 5,000, then you will get up to 10,000 in advance. My limit ends there. If they ask for 25,000 or 40,000, then I say no. If they ask for 100,000 for a home, I say no. If we go beyond our capacity, then we will face difficulties. There will be attachment and abhorrence, and we will lose that person as well as the money. If we take out a loan today in order to give it to someone else to maintain relations, then is that okay? Why do you want to continue this mess of taking from here and giving there? Instead, it is better to clearly say, I don't have the funds, so I won't be able to pay you. I have taken out a loan and I am giving it to you on interest. It isn't worth causing such confusion. Bharatbhai Chawda, when one has money, one does not have right conduct. How is that? He is saying something else. Where are you? When one's wealth increases a lot, then doesn't he face more problems? When there is a big increase in wealth, where does he spend it? He'll say, I can't spend that much at home. So then he'll get a girlfriend, buy her a car and a flat. What else will he do with that excess money? It will spoil him. If he isn't spending it for religion and the wealth is increasing, then it will be misused in the wrong place. This is the situation in the current era of the time cycle. Since one doesn't have happiness, where will he go to get it? Does that make sense? So it can spoil one's conduct. In our satsang, the rule is that there should not be too much money or too little. If we are planning on having an event this large and someone says, I'll contribute, then if he gives, we will move forward. If he doesn't, then we won't. If he contributes, then we will utilize all of it and be done with it. If there is some left over, then there is a chance for trouble. If there is extra, then there is a chance for trouble. Therefore, don't let there be a surplus. If someone says, I want to have 10,000 books printed, tell him that this is the cost. Print the 10,000 books and be done with it. If there is a surplus, then we will think, where should we spend it? How should we take care of it? How should we do it? Then people's intents will spoil.
I'm not likely to have a surplus. However, I read Dada Bhagwan's book. In there, he said this.
That's correct. Next is Dineshbhai Soni. What does it say? Is there value for people in monetary dealings or not? When one's value for money increases, then his value for people will decrease. That is the rule of nature. If one's value for money decreases, then his value for people will increase. Because the value for these relative things has increased, the value for people has decreased. That is what has happened in this current era of the time cycle. Devalue the relative, then the value for people will increase. My question is, when giving or taking money, even though we have the intent to give, when giving money or taking money, it says giving money. When we have that intent and we are not able to give, what kind of karma is that? Please explain this. What is the reason that I'm not able to become free of debt? When debt increases, what we do when we have a debt of 100,000 is we take money on loan at 5 or 10% interest. So if that person is pressuring us for the money, we pay him. So that is how the debt increases. Therefore, if possible, we shouldn't incur a debt. And actually, it's not worth incurring a debt to start a business. If we have a principal amount of at least 5,000 or 150,000 or 500,000, then we should only do transactions within that amount. One's ego becomes so greedy that he goes into debt. And once he enters the quicksand, no matter how hard he tries, he keeps going deeper. Then he faces difficulties. So maintain the intent that you want to repay your debt. Pray to Dada. Recite Dada Bhagwan na Asim Jai Jaikar Ho for an hour. Do Pratikraman 4 and pray to the pure soul within the person that you are indebted to. Instead of resorting to violence or bullying, find a solution through humble requests. Dharmendra Bhatt. What is the standard we should decide on for earning money? People have become very competitive in their pursuit to earn money. To what extent should Dada's Mahatmas make efforts to earn money while staying in the 5 agnas?
Jai Sachidanand Deepakbhai.
Jai Sachidanand. It is like this. You should earn enough to feed your family, and if your children are in school, then to pay their fees for a couple of years.
Okay.
Many people have the intention to work really hard for 3 to 4 years, and once they have saved 1.5 to 2 million, then they will resign from their job and give service in Dada's mission. That can also be done. Otherwise, if you have a house worth 1 million and you think you will need 2.5 million in addition to that, then you can set such a target and earn accordingly. Once you reach that target within a few years, then you can slowly wind it down. And if money is still coming in, then you can spend most of your time in satsang. We are not saying to stop the money that is coming, but to divert its flow towards religion. One should set his dealings of money based on the various circumstances. Do you understand?
Yes.
If you have enough to fulfill your needs, meaning not for luxuries, but for necessities, then it is worth spending time for satsang. It is not worth wasting time behind money for 24 hours and 365 days. It's going to come on its own. Just like how sweat comes on its own. It may increase in the summer and decrease in the winter. It may even completely stop at that time.
And it is my experience that money comes on the basis of merit karma, as Dada has said.
Yes.
Dharmendra has had that experience in his life. He has also experienced that where needed, Dada has saved him.
That's correct.
There was a time when there was a huge craze for the stock market, and Philoan felt that he should open a demat account and start doing stock market work. I was also expecting to have some money come in from my business around that time. And concurrently, I had filled out a form for a home in ATPL. So there was a requirement for me to make a payment. So I made that payment to ATPL. And by doing that, I was saved from the stock market.
That's correct.
Dada saves us. That is my experience.
That is very true.
I have received a satisfactory solution to the question I had regarding worldly interactions.
That's good.
Jai Sachidanand.
Jai Sachidanand. Maheshbhai Shah has come on behalf of the Ahmedabad Education Society. He says, 8 years ago, my close friend took 325,000 dishonestly. Please explain this on the basis of karma. Currently, his situation is quite good. However, he doesn't have the intention to repay me. Has he taken your money?
Yes.
He took money that was yours.
Yes, well, I had given it to him for safekeeping.
You had given it to him for safekeeping.
For 2 to 3 months. His business was going well, and my son wanted to go out of the country. Therefore, I had given it to him temporarily.
Now,
sir, I have a question. Will it go away if it is destined to? Or will it also go away if times are bad? Or will it go away if the past life karma are bad? Please explain how it goes.
all 3 are correct. And if you have a heart attack and the doctor tells you that you require a bypass which will cost around 400,000, then you will say, "Sir, do it, just save me." That will also cause it to go away. So it is worth seeing how it goes away. When you are with your friend, you can say, "We are true friends. Let's have some tea and enjoy ourselves. If you have the ability to repay me, then please do so. Keep the intent to return it. Otherwise, it is not worth binding vengeance. Who knows how this karmic account was bound?
He has filed for bankruptcy just so that he doesn't have to repay it.
Whatever it is. Can I tell you something? You must have had to spend money to send your son to a foreign country, right?
Yes, sir.
How much? 1,500 to 2,000 rupees?
No.
How much?
More.
About 5,000?
About 500,000 rupees.
500,000. You can't forget for your entire life how this guy took 350,000 dishonestly, but you can easily give 500,000 to your son and be happy about it. You lost your money in both situations, didn't you?
But this is such that...
Think about it.
Yes, that's correct.
Did your 500,000 go or not?
They went.
Here you gave it with attachment, while here you are remembering it and having the desire that the money returns with abhorrence. This attachment and this abhorrence will cause your money. You lost money in both situations. You are not going to see the 500,000 again. Just like you aren't going to see the 325,000, you aren't going to see the 500,000 that you gave your son. Why does that not cause suffering? Therefore, maintain the awareness that money went in both situations. Here you gave it through illusory attachment, while here you gave it through illusory attachment, or for whatever reason, but because it's not being returned, you aren't able to forget that it was taken dishonestly. He is my close friend. If you are calling him a friend, then you shouldn't use the word dishonestly. And it is worth removing this abhorrence.
Right.
It is due to this vengeance that you will wander in the worldly life. What is the extent of such karmic accounts? Srimad Rajchandra has written, because of such abhorrence, he will become your son in the next life, or he will become your daughter-in-law, and you will give her money. What sort of karmic accounts? Do you want to stick around here to suffer the effects with these people in your next life, or do you want to attain liberation?
I want to attain liberation.
Then forget it.
If times are bad, then will it go away?
If times are bad times are the result of our unfolding demerit karma.
Okay.
The amount of our money that is going to go, we have brought with us the karmic account of how much money will stay with us, through which instrumental doer our money will go and when is the account of Vyavasthit. Therefore, after it's gone, in case he doesn't give it back, talk to him. I am facing difficulties. Please repay me. I have to send my kids abroad. You can say all of this. And if it doesn't come back, then remain in the knowledge that whatever has happened is justice. Even today, are you struggling to put food on the table or to send your kids abroad?
No.
Then why are you complaining about 325,000? In our life...
No, but at the time, I had the thought that if his situation was bad, then I would give additional money.
That is very wise. That is considered a noble person. No, but you have not forgotten to write this, that he is dishonest. You haven't forgotten that.
That's because he showed that side of himself afterwards and said, I won't give it.
No matter how much we clean this body of ours, we scrub it and take care of it every day, but still a cancerous tumor appears in the kidney, or a vessel in the heart becomes blocked. Who will you blame for this betrayal? If our own body ends up betraying us, then when our close friend ends up taking the form of a cancerous tumor, is there a reason to be miserable? It's not worth seeing anyone at fault. See his pure soul, see him as faultless, and understand that the karmic account has finished, and keep the friendship going. It is not worth having an intent of vengeance.
Jai Sachidanand.
Jai Sachidanand. Rajesh Pai Mewada. In my business, I have been immoral many times. However, if I don't do this, then I wonder how my home and worldly life will continue to operate. No matter how much money comes in the end, the balances are always nil. Where is Rajesh Bhai?
Jai Sachidanand.
It is like this. You should understand the law of how money comes in your life. Even if you are immoral, if it is in your karmic account to have a profit of 25,000, then you will receive 25,000 whether you are immoral or moral. However, by being immoral, you are binding a liability for your next life. By being moral, you are binding a safe side for your next life. Otherwise, the 25,000 that you are supposed to receive will not increase or decrease by 1 cent. It won't increase by 1 cent by being moral, and it won't decrease by 1 cent by being immoral. That is how just this world is. Do you understand? Therefore, remove any doubt that you may have about how your household will run. Repent for any immoral activity that you have done and make a determination not to do it again, and if possible, gradually stop it. Do you understand?
I understand.
Our experience, and that of hundreds of thousands of others, is that once immoral activity stops, money overflows. It's possible that initially you may see less, but look at the balance after 5 years. See the profit made from 5 years of immoral activity and see the profit made from 5 years of moral activity. You will see that the profit from the moral activities will be more. Meaning, all your needs will be fulfilled and inner peace will remain. With immorality, there will be inner suffering and fear. You will experience misery due to the offenses. Morality will bring peace and happiness. Do you understand? Don't people spend so much to attain peace and happiness? Don't they?
Yes.
That peace, by staying moral, that peace will increase for you. Initially, it may not seem so, because in this world, currently it is a time of difficulty. So when we see someone doing wrong, we may feel that if we do right, we will face difficulty and people will cheat us. But no, sooner or later the moral person will win, because God favors morality. The non-self complex favors immorality. The non-self complex will ultimately cause us suffering in the end.
Jai Sachidanand Deepakbhai.
Jai Sachidanand. Yes.
In pretty much all of the work and business that I have done after taking Gnan, I have made a profit. In the instances where I have chosen to remain moral, I have not suffered any loss. I am able to attend satsang as well.
Yes, that is very true.
Internally, I feel very happy. But when certain things happen without my knowledge, or I am forced to do something, in my heart I feel like I have done something wrong. That remains within. What should I do so that this stops completely?
Tell Rajesh Bhai to do pratikraman and to resolve never to make this type of mistake again, even unknowingly. Make a firm determination.
If I notice it, then I almost always do that.
Very good. Then the mistake will slowly shed away.
If anything like that happens and I realize it, then I definitely do it.
If you have the strength, let's say 15,000 came to you immorally, then give 15,000 to charity. Then the demerit karma will be washed away. This immoral money will sting you all over while leaving. It won't let you off the hook. You should not let it come into your home. You shouldn't even let it enter your business. Immorality will not bring profit. Your profit will be washed away one day. If you have the ability, then give 15,000. And if you have even more ability, then give the 15,000 and add another 15,000 and pray, "Oh Lord, I made this mistake. I am adding extra to this and letting it flow to you." The demerit karma will be washed away.
Okay.